explosive. In just a few years, he's gone from a promising developmental talent to one of WWE's most dominant forces, culminating in a shocking win over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. That match opened night 2 and saw Femi dominate Lesnar, who is one of the most dominating figures in WWE himself, and a win that was so decisive before Lesnar left his boots and gloves in the ring, apparently retiring what many saw as his send-off, maybe a symbolic passing of the torch, if you will. The moment instantly put Femi on a path to becoming a main event star very quickly and gave him credibility that makes most wrestlers feel like, wow, they're years behind where this guy is in just a short amount of time. Longtime fans have been conditioned to be a bit pessimistic, though, about early storms of energy around a new head-turning wrestler like Oba, and we need to cover what should not happen with the ruler moving forward. This is Sportskeeda Wrestling. I'm Kevin Callum. Get in the comments and give us your fantasy booking for the future of Oba Femi. And hit the like button and subscribe to Sportskeeda Wrestling for more videos just like this, or I'm going to go and wait on your lawn and cry until you do so. WWE's history is filled with cautionary tales of past dominant newcomers who were pushed too fast, overexposed, or creatively mishandled. Femi's momentum is real, but it is also at a fragile state. If WWE does not handle him carefully, the same booking mistakes of the past could turn him from an unstoppable force, the next main event monster beast of tomorrow, or into just another name on a roster. One of the biggest mistakes WWE must avoid is the overuse of the open challenge concept following his victory over Lesnar. On the surface, the idea of using an open challenge is logical, if not just practical. Give Femi consistent screen time, showcase his dominance, introduce new opponents. In reality, this approach risks damaging the very aura that makes him special. Reports already indicate that WWE has leaned into the Oba Femi open challenge concept. While this may keep him visible, it also makes him maybe just a bit too predictable. If fans see him every week defeating random opponents in similar fashion, the sense of danger and unpredictability disappears. More importantly, it might just diminish, not just completely blow away, but just, take the edge off his outstanding WrestleMania accomplishment this year. A man who just beat Brock Lesnar, that Brock Lesnar, a once-in-a-lifetime draw in Brock Lesnar, shouldn't feel like a weekly fixture throwing challenges to anyone who wants to step up. He should feel like maybe he's above that. Critics have questioned the logic of anyone taking him on, given how dominant he has been portrayed. WWE has to ditch maybe the open concept of anyone open challenging him and maybe tweak it to something else or return to crafting real, believable feuds. Yeah, competition should not be the pursuit of Femi, but the competition should be based on the premise of outliving him, simply surviving him. Equally important is the need to expand Femi's character beyond simple one-dimensional dominance. Now, his dominance is certainly special. We keep going back to that word, but I mean, look at the guy. Yeah, so far his presentation has relied heavily on squash matches, destroying people. While this has been effective in establishing him, it is not sustainable in a long-term strategy. Yeah, we've seen this concept of a wrestler before. It's been cool, but does it have, for lack of a better phrase, creative legs to it in the long run? Wrestling history has shown that even the most dominant, back to that word, dominant superstars eventually need depth. Without it, audiences may lose emotional investment. Femi risks falling into the silent destroyer archetype, a role that looks impressive initially, but often lacks longevity. Right now, Femi's identity is largely defined by what he does in the ring rather than who he is as a character, and that has dangerous limitations that we simply haven't been exposed to just yet. There have been glimpses of more there. His confidence, his presence, his intensity while speaking leading up to WrestleMania hinted at a performer capable of more than just that remarkable physicality. We saw some of this when he was in WWENXT and was the NXT champion there, but still, it's been fairly one type of presentation, and WWE has to build on that. Give him layered rivalries, personal stakes, moments that allow him to show vulnerability, but also some arrogance, even calculated intelligence. Another major mistake could be rushing him into the main event scene without first establishing him within the mid-card or right below the main event level. There's already speculation about dream matches against top names like Roman Reigns, the new World Heavyweight Champion, but even experienced voices within the wrestling industry have cautioned against moving too fast. Femi himself, on the post-show after Mania, declared boldly his direct intention to go after Reigns, but Reigns was not having it and dismissed him because that's what Reigns does. While Femi's win over Lesnar gives him instant, undeniable, irrefutable credibility, it does not automatically mean he's ready to carry the company's main event level or maybe a world title right now as I record this. The mid-card, even though it may feel like on a surface level it could be below him, WWE could truly refine Oba Femi in that territory. This is where he can work longer matches with a greater variety of styles and opponents, develop storytelling skills that go beyond just quick victories, and it's also where he can build a body of work that feels earned rather than handed or something he's surpassing and going through too fast. Crushing the Intercontinental or United States Championship scenes would not be a step down. It would be a necessary step forward, and you can easily frame it as Oba Femi's out to prove that he will get all of it, not just some of it. This phase would allow WWE to experiment with his character. It would still allow him to figure out where his footing would be. Right now, it's not defined whether or not you think he's a hero or a villain. Maybe he's a respected anti-hero. Those general concepts could truly be dialed in that range of the WWE roster. A destructive force with a code of honor? Yeah, where are we going with him beyond just winning big matches? We need to find out what's underneath the surface. In all of these different matches that aren't main events, we can get that. These questions are easier to answer in that mid-card level where the pressure is lower, but they can also supersede any of the expectations, and the opportunities for growth are significant. Closely tied to these temptations to rush him to a world title win is perhaps the most dangerous mistake WWE can make. After defeating Lesnar, it may feel like Oba Oba Femi has already proven himself, but in reality, practical reality, the moment should be the beginning of his journey, not the peak of it. Winning a world championship may feel inevitable for a guy like Oba Femi right now, but too early. If it comes too early, it often leads to stagnation. The chase is what creates the investment, not the immediate reward. For some fans in the 24/7 give it to me now, but also conflicting with themselves, I want the big payoff after a build, Femi might feel like the guy who gets it too soon, but WWE risks exhausting his character arc before it ever really gets going and develops. There would be fewer milestones left to achieve, fewer stories to tell, less room to grow. Slower approach is maybe far more effective in the long run. Let him build the rivalries. Let him experience maybe some setbacks. Let him come close to the title, maybe just fall short for whatever reason before he finally reaches the top in that inevitable moment. That journey is what transforms a dominant wrestler into a legendary one.